What does a business partner with Elon Musk, a great mentor and early investor of Facebook, and a multi-billionaire have in common? Well, they're all one person, Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is one of the greatest entrepreneurs and investors of Silicon Valley. He turned $1,600 into a $5 billion portfolio. And more importantly, he didn't have to pay any taxes. How did he do it? Here is his story. In 1999, Peter Thiel was earning around $73,000 in salary, which was relatively modest. He also contributed around $1,700 into his Roth IRA account. Now, he then invested his Roth IRA into the company he was co-founding at, called PayPal. He bought the company shares at $0.001 per share, which translated to around 70 million shares. Sounds like a lot of shares, but you have to understand, at that time, PayPal was worth nothing. A year later, PayPal was merged with X.com, which was co-founded by Elon. Then Elon and Peter became business partners. A few years later, in 2022, PayPal went IPO. And almost immediately after, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion. So what does that mean for Peter Thiel? Well, his $1,700 investment turned into a $60 million return. And most importantly, it's tax-free. Hey, fun fact of the day. Did you know that Warren Buffett, with a net worth of $117 billion, earned more than 99.7% of his net worth after he turned 50? That's the power of compound interest. And it's not too late to start investing. Now, back to the video. After he sold his company for $60 million, he then took $10 million from his Roth IRA to start a hedge fund called Calarium. With Calarium, he invested in other early stage startups. One of them is Palantir, which he sits as the chairman. And another one is called Facebook. In 2004, he spent $500,000 to get 10% stake in Facebook. In 2012, Facebook went IPO. He sold his initial stake for just over $1 billion. And more importantly, that $1 billion is still tax-free. Along with Facebook, his other investments like LinkedIn, Yelp, Stripe, Quora, all done really well in the startup environment. Remember the company we were just talking about, Palantir, where Peter Thiel sits as the chairman? It went IPO in 2021. At one point, the stock traded over $35 per share, and Peter Thiel had around 268 million shares, putting his net worth at that moment in time over $9 billion. With the stock price sitting at around $10, he has around just under $2 billion in Palantir stocks. And guess what? All of them are tax-free. And there you have it. That's how Peter Thiel used his tax-advantaged Roth IRA account to invest in startups that eventually helped him accumulate more than multi-billion-dollar portfolio, all tax-free. And if you want a step-by-step guide on how you can use your Roth IRA to invest in opportunities like startups and crypto, you must watch this next video.